right, now we want to discuss the insecurity issue witnessed in the north. And of course, President William Ruto had requested Parliament to approve the deployment of Kenya Defense Forces to assist in that particular, region, neutralizing the bandits. We want to have this conversation, and joining me is Endok Makanga, who is a security analyst. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Right, so that particular motion is going to be discussed today. Yeah. But then what are the implications of whether they say yes or no?
To me, I think they should say no, because I don't think it's necessary. We have well-trained police units that can deal with these issues very conclusively. Like the GSU is a very well-trained unit that can handle that issue very well. I think the issue that is a problem to the National Police Service is the issue of them being facilitated and being given enough support operationally to be able to achieve the objective of the operation. If police are given that budget and they're given enough choppers, enough vehicles, enough food for the officers, I think it can be done very well.
Okay.
Yeah, the army coming on board is just overstated. I don't think is to a level that requires the army.
So then what exactly informs the parameters to deploy the army in such cases?
The president has the prerogative to make that decision, depending on the pressure that he has right now from the public, because things are happening day and night, police officers being killed, and I think it's also not going on well with the government. So he has to make sure that he takes his responsibility as the president, because it is the sole responsibility of the government to provide security to members of the public. So at the end of the day, I think he made that decision, and let's see what will come out. But from where we sit, I don't think it's necessary for the army to get on board. It's a job that can be done very well with the National Police Service, just depending on the support. Because the problem that these guys have been having is the equipment they have that does not meet the problems that are on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
We equally have residents who are decrying the fact that the government is deploying inexperienced police officers to this region. What is your take on this?
I don't think I agree. I don't agree with that, because the police are properly trained. I've been able to go to several countries in the region. I've been in Uganda, I've been in Tanzania, I've been in Botswana, very many countries. I think our police is one of the best trained service in terms of what we give these guys to be able to manage the ground. And the GSU is one of the best units.
Yeah.
They can handle this problem in a very good way. So the question of somebody saying that they've not been trained does not arise. These are people who are properly trained. They can handle the terrain. The only problem that we're having right now, as Mr. Natembeya, the governor of Tanzania, said, it revolves on operational support. That's where the rubber meets the road.
And it's a good thing you actually brought the governor, because he did mention that one of the frustrations he went through when he was battling with banditry is the fact that sponsors are actually sponsoring this, and most of them are politicians. So then are we fighting a losing battle?
Actually, it's not a question of losing battle. The question of, what happens in politics is that when a politician wants to get power, he tries to use jobless people with no ends to meet, to be able to get into power. And for him to stay in power, again, he has to find a way of how to remain in power by using, again, the same militia to be able to remain in power. So that now goes back to, are we doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is no, we're not doing the right thing. Because we need to have a way where we can be able to, first of all, identify the problem. The problem on the ground is these guys have nothing to do. They talk just about wrestling day and night. I was one of the officers that I've been very lucky to be able to work in Uganda. And I worked with the office of the president in Uganda, the first family, and were involved in the disarmament of the Karamoja.
Yes.
And it worked out very well. And right now you go there, these guys are doing farming because they were actually just properly taken through the whole process. Leave the gun, get into farming. And they were supported by the government in terms of making sure that they are able to embrace farming. And right now, I think you go to Karamoja, that's a thing of the past. So if at all people from that area can be able to be shown what else, what economic activity can they be involved in, I think it will just work out. The only problem we're having right now in Kenya right now is we always want to deal with issues proactively, not proactively, reactively, than proactively. You don't find the problem, finding the problem, investigating a problem from the bottom and dealing with the problem from the bottom. We want to deal with the issues head on.
Okay.
It does not reach that level. I know people are using the Mount Elkon's land defense force theory that the army were able to come in, they were able to deal with the support land defense force, and they were able to finish it. This was a militia group that was properly organized. It was based in the caves of Mount Elgon, and they were really making serious issues in Mount Elgon. And the army came in, they went localized, and they were able to kill these guys, and they were able to find the problem. But we are talking about a problem that, if you look at it from another perspective, it's just people, these guys have nothing to do. The only thing they can do is get a gun, get involved in this issue of cattle wrestling, and that becomes their order of the day. That's what they do every day.
Okay.
So if you find something that these guys can be able to do and involve them in economic issues that can be able to empower them, I think this thing will end.
It's a good thing you equally brought out the issue in Uganda, in Karamoja,
Yeah.
and I think one of the strategies that they employed was they had a training facility
Yes.
in that region.
Yes.
We don't have such in the North region. Maybe is that something that we can borrow?
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you need to have meetings, Parasas, with the local people. I mean, this is something you just have to go out of your way, and then you really tell these people what you are doing is wrong, and the government does not support what you are doing. And if you go this direction, I think you're going this direction, and then you tell them what to do next, because you know that place. People believe a child comes from school, the best thing he thinks is about an AK-47. If you ask a child, if you grow up, what you do like to buy, he will tell you want to buy an AK-47. Now that tells you these guys are drunk with this AK-47. They know nothing beyond AK-47. So you have to begin from the primary school, make sure that this thing is taught in schools. Then you call Parasas, you talk to the old people, you talk to the politicians, and then you make sure that you deal with the politicians who are actually the main cause of the problem.
Okay.
Remember that I'm saying that these guys were set out. They were trying to say that maybe this is the right time that we need to make sure that now we hit the nail on the head. Otherwise, this problem will continue being there. Bringing the army, yes, it will work out. To me, it won't work out. It will work out, yes, but solving the problem that is on the ground, that is actually creating problems in Elgeyo Marakwet, it's another problem altogether. The government can try another method by actually doing what just happened in Uganda. It will work out very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were in a position to advise the president right now in 30 seconds, what would you tell him?
I could tell him, I think there comes a time he needs to have a team of security people who can be able to advise him on... remember, the president is not a security person. The minister for internal security is not a security person. The PA is not all these guys are just coming in, and right now I think they are being inducted on what happens.
Yeah.
So in such a situation, what normally happens is you need to actually appoint security advisors who actually understand security issues, and they're able to advise you on the best issues you are supposed to do. But if you go, you know, there are ways of dealing with issues. You deal with an issue politically, you deal with an issue operationally. But now, at this particular time, I could advise the president that there comes a time he needs to have a well-placed security advisors of just around 3-4 men who understand security at national level, and they can be able to advise him on policy issues. And then the same thing applies to Professor Kindiki. He needs to get people who can be able to advise him on what does he do at this particular level by the time he's able to give a policy order. Otherwise, if we go the way we are going, at the end of the day, we're going to lose the game.
All right. Thank you so much, Enoch Makanga, who is a security analyst. And that's all we had for you here on News Center. Thank you for your company. I'm Ashley Mazuri. I'll see you at 1 p.m.